Hi, and welcome back to the mini farm. Today, we're going to show you how to make bone broth. You can use leftover turkey bones from Thanksgiving, or if you broke down a turkey with us like we did yesterday, you can save the bones from that and roast them yourselves to make this broth. So if you want to see how to make this amazing, rich, delicious bone broth, then just keep watching. But first, please give this video a thumbs up if you like videos like this, and click the subscribe button below if you haven't done so already. If it's already gray, thank you so much for being here. I really love having you here, and I enjoy our chats in the comment section. Without further ado, here's this incredible turkey bone broth. If you're starting off from turkey bones from your roasted turkey, you can skip this first step. If you're following along from our turkey series, or you just have raw bones, this is where you would start. Okay, so this is ready for roasting, and to do that, I just put salt and pepper on it and put it in a 350-degree oven for about an hour until it really kind of renders a little bit. You really want that nice roasted bone flavor to let it render down for some really delicious stock. So salt it generously, and we're gonna go ahead and stick that in the oven. Let it sit for a little bit just so it's cool enough for you to handle and put it in the pot. So I have my plugged in Carey or Nesco. They're now the same. Nesco purchased Carey. And I'm going to take my roasted turkey bones and then just drop them in the bottom of this insert. There's nothing on the bottom at all. So I'm just going to put them all in there, including the little wing tips. So this turkey ended up being a little bit too big for this pot if I just put it in one piece. So we took it back out and then just cut it up in half with using regular kitchen scissors and then put it back in there. Just drop it in there. And all the delicious broth and a little bit of the fat that came off of it, all of that goes in with skin and everything. The more you have in there, the yummier the broth is going to be. So that's perfectly okay. The herbs and veggies I'm going to use in today are bay leaves. I'm also going to put in some peppercorns, some whole peppercorns, like a teaspoon, not even that, probably like a half a teaspoon. I really like putting whole allspice in there. This is what allspice berries look like. If you can find them, you can usually find them in the McCormick section or the spice section of your store. I'm going to put 2 in there, 2 whole ones here, drop them right in. I'm also going to put 1 heaping teaspoon of salt in here. That's not going to be enough salt, but then you can season it to taste afterwards. And I usually like to put some onion, celery, and carrots in here. Or if you have them, veggie scraps. So either one would work. I saved the ends of my onions and stuff and put them in a freezer bag. You can put them in skin and all. So put your onions and celery in there. Same with the celery. Whenever I cut off the ends of my celery, I just put them in the freezer bag. So I just put the frozen celery ends in there. You can also dehydrate them and put them in there too if you want, if you don't want to take up the freezer space. But these are the veggies that you would normally kind of cut the ends off and throw out. We just save them for the stock because at the end of the day, you're going to strain this whole thing anyway and just get the liquid off of it. The only veggie scraps I would not add in here are potato skins. Potatoes and their skins would leach out the flavor, and you don't want that in this broth. And I'm going to throw in a handful of carrots. And then now we're just going to completely cover it with water. I'm just using hot tap water. My tap water actually gets pretty hot, but it does come all the way out. So I want to completely cover this but without exceeding the max fill line, which is right here. I'm just below that max fill line. Now I'm just going to close it and latch it shut. I'm going to set my valve to airtight, which is where it sinks down in. And then I'm going to hit pressure cook, do 60 minutes, and start. Now that little indicator is going to turn for a little bit until the machine comes up to pressure. Then it's going to give us the 60-minute countdown and then shut itself off. Okay, this just beeped 3 times and gave me the off symbol. I'm going to let it slow release for about 10 minutes and then I'll pop the top here and put it on exhaust. Okay, it has been an interesting day. We have a dehydrator going, we have the broth going, and we also have the Nesco going with some canned meat in there, which I'm sure at this point you've either seen it or it's coming out like tomorrow. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and release it. I'm gonna release it there. We can't find our funnel for the jars, so we're gonna wing it. But let that release for a little bit. When it's done releasing the steam, the locking pin will drop in and you'll be able to open up the canner. Okay, open it away from you. And that's what it looks like in there. That is some yummy looking broth. I'm so excited. So here's how we normally do it. We just shove a big strainer in it, ladle it out, and since we don't have our funnel, we're gonna ladle it into just a little container with a handle and a spout, which would make it easier to kind of pour in. And then we're going to just pour it into our jars. That is the richest looking broth that I have ever seen. I'm so excited about this broth. That was smart, pouring it over so you don't drip everywhere. That's good. So we're gonna only fill it up to this rim, which is 1 inch from the top. I'm going to strain out some of the solids here in a minute so we can get a little bit deeper down into the broth. And now we're going to wipe off the rims of the jars. So with a paper towel, just take it and clean off the rims of the jars really, really well. Make sure there's nothing on it. And do that to every single one of the jars. So he's just he's gone down to the bottom. He's done this a couple times now, but taking out the bones and the veggies so he can actually put the strainer a little bit further down in to the broth and get some nice smooth broth out of it. This smells delicious. This is really hot, so the fact that he's doing this with his bare fingers, we should have let it cool off just a little bit, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning and we're ready to go to sleep, so we just want to finish it off real quick. And that's the last of it. Now that we have all the jars wiped down, we're going to put brand new flats on. Your flats have to be new. Your rings do not have to be new. They can be used, but the flats have to be new to seal properly. Now we're going to put the rings on finger tight. Just like that. Plug in the Nesco, and all I have in here is a riser in the bottom. You never want your canning jars to sit on the bottom of your canning pot. This is the same for a stovetop canner or a regular canner. Then line your jars in there around the outside of the pot and pour in 8 cups of water. Close the lid. Set it to close. Make sure it's on exhaust here. Hit high. And then we need 20 minutes for the broth. Then just hit start. Let this turn until it hits E10. And since we have actually 11 total, we're gonna put 1 in the fridge. We're going to go ahead and run the Nesco and the Carey side by side. Just close the lid, set it to close. Make sure it's on exhaust up here. Hit high, 20 minutes, and start. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, so it's still going. Still rotating over here, but I am seeing some steam on both machines actually. So this one's rotating. I'm getting the steam coming up here. They are just, I mean, it's starting to be a pretty steady stream of steam here. So this should flip very soon. All right, it just hit E10 on the Nesco. It beat out the Carey by a little bit. We'll see when this one turns on us. But this just hit E10. I'm going to let it go. There it goes. They were just like, it heard me. So we're gonna let it go to E0, and then we're gonna switch this to airtight and let it go on its own. So once it hits E0, I'll switch it to an airtight. The steam stopped, and it is gonna start its countdown in just a few minutes. This one is doing the same. There it goes. Now we're gonna switch it to airtight. Wow, it just got super silent in here all of a sudden. And now they're gonna go on their own. They're just gonna build up the pressure for a minute, and then the timer will start for 20 minutes. This is another question that we get often, is it's now on airtight and I'm still seeing a lot of steam. This is perfectly normal. It's just coming back up to temperature. This is what you would see on a stovetop canner as well, so that's perfectly normal. Okay, just hit 20 minutes. Now we're just gonna let it do its thing on its own. All right, we let this sit overnight. We were only asleep for like a few hours, so this was okay. And now it's cool to the touch. It's still kind of warm, but it's cool to the touch. So we're gonna go ahead and just take them out. If they're still hot, obviously use your lifter, your jar lifter that we used here. And then I'm just gonna do that for both of these. They're both the same. Switch it to the open position and then just pull them out. Once they've cooled, you can just take off the little rings on there, wipe them down, label them, and put them on the shelf. Don't forget the date when you label them. And you're done. Now it's time to talk about the giveaway. We have a second box of this canner because we're actually giving it away. Nesco was kind enough to send me 2 units, and I'm going to ship this out to one of you. So all you have to do is look in the description box below for all the instructions on how to enter. There are 3 chances to enter, so you can have up to 3 entries per person. The opportunities are on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. So check the description box below to see how you can enter this contest, and good luck. Thanks for watching. Bye. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't done so already, you can click on my face to subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what's the very first thing you would cook or can in this machine if you got it. Good luck, everyone.